Hello, everyone. Welcome to our little podcast, One for the Table. My name is Kim T.
And I'm John Kung.
And even though we will be a humble podcast, we're never going to stop you from providing you with superstars as our special guest. He's like a better version of us. Like, better looking, more successful, probably richer.
Better cook, more money. His parents love him and are proud of him.
He probably has better height than too.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
we can see his teeth right now. His teeth are whiter than ours. The 100% whiter.
I don't feel like a single plaque anywhere single
No plaque would dare. No plaque would dare.
He probably flosses like 3 times a day. One of my favorite chefs and TV personality, Ronnie Woo.
What up? I couldn't tell if I was supposed to laugh or not, but I was laughing. I'm not standing my mute, but we were just talking earlier how my middle name is Chi, and then John's dog's name is Mochi. There's just a lot of cheese in the family, like kimchi, John, chi. It's a good word. Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. I love that intro. It's phenomenal.
We do our best. We're very practiced, very rehearsed.
Thank you for sharing your chi with us.
Yeah, of course, anytime. I love sharing my chi with you guys.
So Ronnie actually has a cookbook coming out on March 14th, which is available for pre-order on Amazon right now.
What is it called?
Yet Fatty.
Did my name? My book. Have you eaten yet, Fatty? I did canceled even before the book came out.
I feel like you're just speaking to me.
I feel like I'm speaking to myself, actually. I feel like that's what I would say, but, gotta be sensitive. You don't want to be ostracizing anybody or making anyone bad.
Really quick. So did any of you we all have family and friends and relatives in Asia and stuff. So was fat just a word that your aunties would throw around at home? Kim, are you typing? We can hear you type.
Oh, sorry.
Kim, focus.
Sorry. So my designer's at the fabric store right now, so it was something I had to get back right away.
I love the full attention I'm getting from you.
No, I'm fully listening.
Don't worry. I'm pooping and making dinner.
I'm multitasking, okay?
I'm the only person here that's fully here, I guess.
No, I'm fully here. I need to pull it up in the guest room. So I'm fully here. There's nothing here. But your question, yes, fat was thrown around all the time. My mom took me to when I was younger, my mom took me to my pediatrician and asked me why I was getting fat. And then when I got and then I had a growth spurt. He's he's just like a child. He's probably just loves food. And then when I had a growth spurt and I got really, really skinny, to the point where I looked like I was not eating, although I was eating a shit ton. My mom took me to the pediatrician, was like, why is he so skinny? And I was like, I'm Britney Spears. I could never be.
Right. Yeah. I was a bigger kid, and so I had the nickname with all the aunties and uncles, everybody would call me Feijai, which means
Feijai, yeah.
Feijai. I got that all the time. And it was always a half compliment, half not. I think with guys, it's okay, yeah, you kind of want to have a fat baby boy and stuff like that, but it was always so backhanded. Everything was always so backhanded.
Everything is backhanded in the Asian families. You kind of have to learn how to set your boundaries of what is backhanded and what's not. My mom, she'll be like, I really like your hair today, but can you keep it like this forever? Because I didn't like it before. And she's seriously, mom, thanks for the compliment. And I think you should be so happy with that.
I know. I've heard a lot of Koreans, when we greet each other, the first thing we say is oh my God, you got so much fatter, or you've lost so much weight.
Yeah. As if for mouth. That's the one thing that you should ever pay attention to. Our aunties, when they're feeling tactful, they always say, oh, you look very prosperous.
Yeah, it's strange. It's a very strange patch, but it's a compliment.
Greedy. I feel everybody is just obsessed with weight all the time, and I know the new like woke thing is like not to talk about anyone else's body, but like anytime like I don't know, like a celebrity or even when I post photo, the first comments are like, "Is it just me or has Kimchi gotten fatter?"
Oh my god.
People in the public eye are just like, they are like the exception, it seems. It's like if you put yourself out there or if you are out there, whether you want to or not, it's like people, you're just open to everyone's criticism and comments.
Totally. People think they have the right to like make comments about you, which, you know, ultimately, I guess we're never going to stop people from being trolls. It's kind of like we have to, you know, it's like almost sad. You have to like either become numb to it or like ignore or turn a blind eye to it or just block them.
Yeah. Either way, like for any of us, it's just engagement. It's all numbers. Right.
Have engagement. Back to your cooking book.
Yeah. My cookery book. Yeah. So it's called Did You Eat Yet? And I mean, John, you might get this. I mean, Kim, you're Korean, so this I'm sure it's said differently, but like Nesikjayeme is something my mom always says, and that's in Chinese. Sikjafanme, Nesikjayeme, whatever. You know, there's different variations of it, but it really boils down to did you eat yet or have you eaten yet? You know, so the book is called Did You Eat Yet? The subtitles, Craveable Recipes by an All-American Asian Chef. And I think the goal was to really showcase recipes that were inspired by my Asian upbringing, but also inspired by my American upbringing. So it's not like one or the other more so than it's like, because I feel like very fully American and also very fully Asian, but also like I've traveled and seen so much of the world that I also wanted to incorporate those different aspects into it as well. So, I mean, the book is not to be taken, it's not like a serious cookbook where I'm diving into the history of this dish or something, because this dish, some of my dishes don't even really have a history other than I cooked it, you know, and I loved it or my mom made it. And that it only goes as far as back as something my mom put together. And so the book itself is supposed to be really fun, lighthearted. A lot of like every recipe has a story and a photo, and so a photo of the dish, and then stories that I just spent a lot of time writing and putting thought into. But they're not like deep stories. They're supposed to be kind of, some of them are kind of deep, you know, or like, you know, one of the stories like when my dad sort of like not finally, but when my dad sort of had this moment where he accepted me being gay, or, you know, where I met when I first went on a date with my husband or things like that. But they're all like jovial and funny. Like they're not supposed to be serious. I don't really dive into really heartbreaking stuff for the most part.
Well, I love the title of your book because like I've heard like a lot of people when like, I know Chinese people, but like, you know, it's safe to assume like a lot of Asian and a lot of East Asian people where like we don't really express emotion or affection very well. So like a lot of times people say, I was like, okay, well, yeah, my parents never said I love you. But one thing they always did say was like, did you eat yet? Or are you hungry? And that was like always like their way, especially if you grew up in a situation where food was scarce, like being able to like show affection and show like how much they care for you through like food just by asking that is like kind of their way of saying it. So I thought that's a really good title.
Yeah, absolutely. That is 100% true. I mean, you explained it really well. Food is also just, you know, it's not just in like East Asian or Asian cultures. It's in a lot of, I think like a lot of cultures. When I share the title of the book, I think a lot of people are like, whether they're Asian or not, they kind of relate to it in the sense, I think, you know, it doesn't have to be just your mom, either your dad or anyone, you know, food is sort of is nourishing. And so that was the whole point. It's just to sort of have like, I like the title because I think it was just something that people could relate to. And hopefully when they open the book, they can relate to everything in there even more.
And when you release the second book, it's going to be called Are You Still Eating?
And that's where the dark stories are. The trauma dumping.
Oh my gosh. Kimchi, is there something we need to talk about? Because I feel like I'm reading between the lines and there's just something we need to explore here.
Well, I have a lot of trauma, but I could never afford therapy. So.
Well, I can help you. I have a background in therapy, so we'll have another session after this. Just because that sounds so stupid and condescending.
Are you cheap?
It depends on how this book does.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, you gotta sell the shit for this, kimchi.
But it is available for pre-order on Amazon right now, so you guys should go and get it.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'm gonna have to pay for the some therapy session.
yeah, yeah. I'm definitely I'm nervous about it because the book itself was actually made during the pandemic, and John, we talked about this before, but I think. I was saying that my experience was really wonderful. I actually really enjoyed making it. I think it was a really fulfilling process, just to get to be creative and just dive into it. And so I'm nervous about it coming out, but excited at the same time. So I just hope, I think my biggest thing is just hope people like it. And I hope that people get some sort of joy or entertainment or some good food out of it or all of the above. And that's really, I think if they do, then, that's my job has been done. Did I say that correctly?
I've done my job. Yeah. I think the most exciting thing about writing or especially for us cooks, it is in our nature to want to see, you're always very curious when you make food and then you see someone taste it or you serve it to somebody and you're always curious. And I have a habit of watching people eat my food and just trying to gauge their reactions. It's no different than when you write a book, you have the opportunity. Once your book is out there, you'll have an opportunity to get reactions from people who have been following you along your journey all this time. And I'm sure it's going to be a really exciting experience for you to have because it actually what I don't know if you have any plans to go on a tour or anything. But even if you do something locally, you'll have an opportunity, people will come and see you when you go to book signings and stuff like that, and you get to see the people behind that are reading the words that you write.
Totally. I mean, as far as the book tour goes, one of my biggest fears about doing in-person meetings is what if no one shows up and you're just sitting there twiddling your fingers, you're just But in terms of the actual book tour, I think it's all sort of being discussed right now, sort of what makes the most sense and where we can sort of get to the most people, whether it's, a book tour or a broadcast or media or, print, whatever it is. It's all sort of because, you only have so much time in a day and it's trying to figure out how many, the most people we can reach. But I think every author does it differently.
Yeah. Would you do anything locally though? Maybe small bookshops in that are already by you?
Yeah, totally. I think I would like to do some indie bookshops and maybe some bigger bookstores as well. But I guess it just kind of, again, depends on whatever else is on the docket. But I'm excited for it all. I think, the whole process has been so amazing. And I think I'm nervous, but I'm also excited about sort of the promotional and marketing aspect of it as well. And hopefully people just respond and like it. The chapters are actually divided from breakfast all the way to dessert. So there's a breakfast chapter, there's a sauce chapter where it's just sauces. There's happy hour chapter, a nudes chapter, noodles. Yeah.
Nice.
And then there's steaks, a beef chapter, a chicken chapter, and then a seafood chapter. And I have favorites in all of them. I have to say, I think my favorite chapter is breakfast, but then I think my favorite recipe is this is actually in the nudes, and it's a almond pesto udon. And I think that just kind of encapsulates sort of a little bit. It encapsulates more sort of how the recipes are sort of a combination of just the different foods that I like and smushing them together. But I mean, it's a hard question to say what's my favorite recipe, just simply because I think there's so many in there that are really fun and yummy and easy that I can't answer that question, Kim.
How many recipes are in the book?
I haven't actually, when we finalized all the recipes, I don't remember if I counted exactly, but it's a little over 100. So between 100.
That's a good size.
Yeah.
That's a very good size book.
And speaking of a news section, how many shirtless photos of you or yourself do you have in the book?
Well, I'll say that there's one complete nude. It's a full spread. It's right in the center.
Are those for pre-orders only, or is that for everybody?
It's just spreading. It's for editors that buys the book. I just really wanted to be real with people. And just I just think it's just something that I want to be able to see. It's the real me. So,
is it the attractive sniff page we're telling you about?
It's the attractive page. Yeah, there's two of them. There's one for the front and one in the back. And it's both spread eagle. You know, no hair, no makeup, no filter, nothing, just the real me. No, but there's a shirtless picture and there's like a couple of like, because it's like a summary book and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, so and they're not super salacious or scandalous, but you know, it's just me being mean. So you'll have to buy the book to see it. But nothing that's gonna like make you lose your appetite or anything.
Do we get to see your feet?
Oh my god, the feet. People in the feet. I think
if they're paying for the book, they're gonna want to see the feet.
I'm trying to think, do I have a foot picture in there? I don't know. I personally hate feet, by the way. Like, I hate feet.
I mean, same. I think
You know what?
gross.
Eric Kim promised tons of feet in his book, Korean American, on Twitter, and now it's a New York Times bestseller. So whether or not there is feet, you should definitely promise feet.
That's true. I should definitely, I mean, Eric's obviously very genius and he knows what he's doing. So I feel like I need to go.
Yeah, exactly. Just do what Eric does and promise feet.
I'm just going to post a bunch of pictures of Timothy Chalamet and say there's. No, Eric's got a amazing excuse, but he's so funny though. Like, his obsession for Timothy Chalamet
is so cute.
And Wendy.
It's adorable. It's so cute.
I know. It is very cute.
If you promised like feet, and then it was like a bunch of recipes on how to cook chicken feet.
I'm like, I never said what kind of feet. You know, we've got fake feet, chicken feet. I love chicken feet, by the way. There's no recipe of chicken feet in my book, but I do remember eating chicken feet with my grandmother and actually enjoying it. For anyone who hasn't tried it, it's not that gross.
It's good.
They're good. Oh, good.
If you like, it's like pretty much eating like all skin. It's like all skin. It's pretty. That's that all skin and like kind of like cartilage. It's good. Delicious.
It's delicious, and it's actually probably good for you. I'm assuming because like cartilage and skin is
yeah, it's called collagen.
Yeah, it's like
Because you use chicken feet to like add it to your soup, so it's no different.
You get it like Vietnamese style, like deep fried. You can get a Korean style, like boiled in like hot chili. Get a Thai style, cooked in coconut curry. Still versatile.
Kim knows his feet.
Yeah, I know. Anthony's would do it in a sweet and savory sauce, and we steam it.
Yeah, and you get a lot of times at dim sum. Have you not had that?
Dim sum.
Dim sum.
I love it.
Basket. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
I always say chicken feet when I go to dim sum, but I live in LA where like everybody's either like a vegetarian or vegan, or they have like weird relationship with food.
Yeah.
So like I have to eat the entire basket of chicken feet by myself. Like no one will get with me.
Are you serious? In LA? Yeah, that's really too bad because like dim sum is such like a magical like meal.
It's such a mad
Friends and stuff like that.
I love
it's so
them.
good.
It's so good.
Dim sum, Ronnie.
What's your favorite dim sum like thing off of the cart?
I don't think my favorite dim sum is in LA. I'm trying to think for my favorite dim sum. I think the best dim sum. Well, I don't have a favorite dim sum place in LA, but I think the best dim sum I've ever had was actually probably oddly in Macau. If that makes like Macau has like
No, that's legit. Yeah, Macau is legit.
Macau has like the best food ever. Like everything is meticulous. Like all the food is meticulous. I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was next to Mandarin Oriental.
Top 3 pick. So dim sum.
At dim sum.
Yeah, what are your top 3 dim sum orders?
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever had like there's this one restaurant that I've had, like not all restaurants have it, but have you ever had like it's a cha siu filled bolo bao? So like
Yes, the Michelin place in Hong Kong has it.
Oh, that's maybe I'm like, is that where I had it? No, yeah, the places that have it, you know that they know what they're doing. But I would say like, so cha siu is like Chinese barbecue pork. It's like sweet and savory, and then bolo bao is like this really yummy chewy bread that has like this crusty like not too sweet like topping on it that kind of crumbles when you put it in your mouth. And so when you combine the two, it's just like amazing. And then
That's a good answer.
and then the other two, I love like a lot of dim sum places do like a black bean spare rib. It's not like roasted, it's like steamed. And it's kind of like, it's almost gelatinous sometimes. And I don't know, I love it. And then dan tat, which is like
Dan tat,
it's like a custard tart. Yeah, an egg custard tart, which is very similar to like the Portugal egg tarts. I always question who did it first, but the Portugal egg tarts tend to be like really like broiled and bruleed off.
Yeah.
And then the egg tarts in like dim sum tend to be like this perfect yellow glossy color.
Flaky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Buttery.
Crust, the shortbread crust. Yeah.
That's basically like my meal. Yeah.
What is yours, Kim?
My top 3 dim sum items are turnip cake.
Oh yes. I forgot about that. So yummy.
The turnip cake, oh my god, especially as like a little piece of like dry pork and all that.
And it's shrimp.
And shrimp, yes. And then chicken feet. And I think the last will probably be the sticky rice with the Chinese sausage and quail egg.
Oh, I forgot what it called, but I know exactly what you're talking about. It's so good.
Really fast, but like the rice is like so fragrant.
Oh yeah.
And then that I have to get it every time I go.
Yes, I do love that. What's it called? I know what it's called. Something fun.
Something rice. Yeah.
What about you, John?
Well, I like the Tasu Bolo Bao as well. And I had it at like, it's not the expensive Michelin dim sum restaurant in Hong Kong. That one's in the Four Seasons restaurant, but this one's in like, there's 1-star Michelin dim sum place, but it's in like a train station to the airport. Like it's really hard to get in, but it's super cheap. It was the cheapest at the time, and theirs was really good. And then I also like wugok, which is the taro. It's the taro that they deep fry in a way that it flakes. It kind of flakes in this really, really soft mesh. So like the outside portion is, it's very airy, and it's like, it's football shaped, but it's like surrounded by like this fried taro like net. And then the inside is like a mashed taro. It's delicious. Yeah. It was like my favorite thing as a kid. And then I gotta save one for like dessert, like the mango pudding.
Oh yeah. It's like
I love the mango. That's just the Hong Kong mango pudding with the coconut milk on top. Like
it's so fragrant. If it's like done well, it's made with like fresh like vanilla mango or honey mangoes, like the really, really fragrant ones. Yeah. I'm like mildly allergic to mangoes. It's very odd. Like not like not like full on like I'm not gonna like go into shock or anything, but like I just kind of like I think I'm mildly allergic to like pit fruits, and I think that falls into the pit fruit category.
I think so too. That's
I
mean like stone fruit or what?
Stone fruit, pit fruit. Sorry.
Oh,
John's like, you're stupid.
No. I just wanted to clarify because like stone fruits are Kim's favorite.
Yeah, stone fruits. I love stone fruits. I just get itchy like in the throat, and no one.
That's definitely allergic, right?
Yeah. I get an itchy throat, and my husband's like, "Let me help you," and I'm like, I'm like, fine.
Okay, so we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to hear more from Ronnie and his life as a chef.
Hello, and we're back. We're talking with Ronnie Woo, and we were talking about his book and our favorite dim sum order. And now we were just about to talk about like people who actually enjoy eating, right? Was that what
Ronnie? Yeah, at least that you like food.
Yeah. People don't believe I don't like food. It's more so people don't think that I eat, because I tend to, I appear to be in shape. But that's because I'm like constantly sucking in. But the thing is, I like legitimately love food. Like I love food. Like it's the one thing that like brings me constant joy. And people don't realize this, but like I can eat a lot. Like people are like, my family even still to this day is always like so surprised at how much food I can put down. I mean, the truth is I generally like during the week, I generally eat healthy. I'll eat, and I'm not telling anyone to like take after me and how I eat. I don't know if it's healthy or not, but in the sense of like, I eat like 1 to 2 meals. I eat like 2 probably small meals. I do like a small meal for lunch, and then I do like a protein shake after I work on. Then I have like a normal dinner, a normal sized dinner. But people just don't think I can eat. Everyone's always like, if I post a picture, people is like, but we don't see you eating it. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Sit there and just like literally watch you eat? Have you watch me for an hour? I'm like, no, guys, I'm eating it. I'm not throwing it away. I'm Asian. I'm not gonna waste this food.
Right.
Down my throat.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have been curious because I've seen your Instagram post where you got so much food in front of you, and you're like posing shirtless like with this food, and I'm like, does he actually eat all that?
Well,
I mean, you're with somebody else.
I didn't eat all that.
I mean, I will say I'm with my husband, but I probably eat like, I would say like 2/3 of what we order. And my husband actually eats a lot too. He's actually in really great shape as well. But he probably eats less than me, obviously. But, I'm a large guy. Like, I'm 6'2", 185 pounds. So it's not like I'm like a miniature person, So I have places to put it.
You tall motherfuckers can like just eat whatever the hell you like. Tall people are just like gifted with being able to eat so much food.
John, how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay,
I'm not
so short. You're tall.
I'm not okay. I'm not like, I feel like 6 feet is like that threshold where we're like, okay, now you're tall. Like you're like the entry into like what a tall person is. But I feel like once you're like 6'2", I'm also like the shortest. I'm also like the shortest of all of my like guy cousins. Like they're all like 6'2" and stuff. They can all like eat and just eat. I was like, apparently once you're above 6'1", you could just like eat whatever the fuck you want and it's just gonna be fine.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, like,
I think when I clear them, I think you need to talk to our therapist Ronnie Woo about.
Yeah, I heard he's free, so. He's super condescending. He'll tell you exactly what to do.
But you have trauma of being the shortest of your family.
Yeah. Although I'm also like very tall.
I'm also the shortest person on this podcast right now, so
that is true.
All right, halfway to the podcast, Ronnie, tell us about yourself.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We definitely like just went through it into this podcast, and we didn't ask you to like say who you are and what you did.
So, for the listeners, we've actually recorded a podcast with Ronnie before, but something happened where the entire podcast like wasn't saved. So this is our second take.
Don't worry, guys. And
it's going so well.
Well, for the record, I love talking to you guys. So it doesn't matter if we recorded this, one more time. Let's see, where do I even start? I was born in Seattle. I actually, I think my very first job was at a fast food joint, at McDonald's. I worked there for like a summer, and then I became a model, which is so random. It's like the rags to riches story, but with just no riches part. But I worked at McDonald's, and I actually became a model. And then I feel like my story is very complicated, but I'm going to try my best to explain it. Became a model, and then I actually went to college after I graduated from school. After 1 year of college, because I was actually in a fraternity for my first year, I actually moved to LA to become a model. I signed with Wilhelmina Models. I modeled for a year, in addition to being a personal trainer. And then I went back to school, got my psychology degree. And then at the end of that, that was when I met my husband. I met him when I was 23. And then I moved to San Francisco to be with him. And that was when I got my 2 master's degrees, one in marriage and family therapy and one in business administration. And then a few years later, we moved back to LA. And then I kind of like immediately got my first television show. And then ever since then, that's sort of just how it kind of began. I also have I had a private chef company that I started as well. So I was able to sort of get my experience as a chef that way. So, I mean, that's like the gist of it. There's all these other little stories in between, and it's a little bit more intricate than that, but that's kind of the gist of it. So I kind of like did a lot of like back and forth, I guess. But I don't regret it. I mean, I think I always encourage people to be like, if there's something you want to explore, like earlier in your life is the time to do it. Not to say that later in your life you can't explore it, but I just think there's less obligations and less responsibilities when you're younger. And it just gets harder when you're older to explore things, not because you shouldn't or you can't, but just because, you have more responsibilities and bills. So that was sort of when I did a lot of my, I wouldn't say soul searching, but kind of like career searching, what I really wanted to do. Because, obviously growing up in an Asian family, it's like you're either a doctor or a lawyer. And And so all of us here are neither doctor or lawyers, at least not anymore. And so that's kind of how I came to be.
Do you have any funny stories about the first times you started cooking for people?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started my private chef company, this is like, gosh, this is how many years ago? I think this is like a decade ago. Well, I'm like, how old am I now? But this is a decade ago. 37 now. So when I was like 26, 27, I think is when I first started my private chef company. And the very first event that I did, it actually lasted like 10 hours. No joke. Because basically, I had never cooked for like an event or a dinner party before. And so I got hired, and essentially, my understanding was the two guys just probably thought it was cute or wanted to, sleep with me or something. And I was just like, oh my God, you want to hire me for my cooking skills? Although I literally had no cooking skills. I'm pretty naive when it comes to that kind of stuff. I just think everyone's being nice just because they're nice. And so I was like, yeah, I'll totally come over and I'll make dinner. It was a dinner party. In their defense, it wasn't like they invited me over. It's just the two of them. And, there was a bearskin rug in the middle of the room. And we're like, okay. Okay. It was a real dinner party. And so I remember going straight from the grocery store to the dinner party without any prep or anything. And I was literally in the kitchen frantically trying to prepare like a simple 3-course meal, but like make it nice, and trying to cook potatoes in like, I don't know why I thought cooking potatoes only took like, 30 minutes, but I think I started the potatoes last. It just, everything, it took me, I think the dinner was supposed to be at like 6:30, and I didn't serve until like 10:30, because I showed up at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and it was just literally the most nerve-wracking, like anxiety-inducing experience I've ever had. Luckily, they were all drinking, so they were drunk and they like didn't care. I don't even think they knew what time it was. They were probably on something, but I lucked out in the sense they were really cool and they were really like understanding. But ever since that first event, I never ever messed up another event in my life. It was just like I learned everything I needed to learn from that one event. I was like, I'm never gonna be as lucky as I was tonight, where the people were super gracious, super nice and understanding, and did not give me a hard time and did not chew me out. They just kind of went with the flow, even though they literally started dinner at like 10:30 at night. So yeah, I took that as like a gift, and I ran with it, and I never messed up or fucked up ever again. At least I don't think I did.
Imagine if it was like a bridal party.
Oh my God. Banquet. Oh my God.
I would be dead. I wouldn't be here right now.
Yes, you're right. That Yelp review would have killed him.
Yeah, that one Yelp review would have literally killed me. He'd be dead.
The trauma. Or if you're cooking for an Asian family,
my gosh,
family wouldn't hire a private chef.
I mean, I will say some of the Asian families have been the most demanding and the most definitely like have the most requests, but it's almost like I'm like used to it. I always tell my mom, I'm always like, Mom, you would be the worst client in the entire world. And she'd be like, what do you mean? And I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to explain it to you. I think she partly knows, but at the same time, I can't tell if she's joking or not. I'm like, I hope you do know. She's the woman that like will happily tell you if something is like not done correctly, and then she'll also tell you how it can be done correctly. I joke in my book that my mom is a walking 3-star Yelp review, because she literally just is an expert. Nothing's ever that great, but nothing's ever that bad. So it's just kind of like, I could do it better.
I feel like for the elder generation of like Chinese people, though, that's just how they like see life, though. Where it's like, oh, it's not bad. Nothing is like ever like, it's never up here. It's just like, oh, if it's good, it's not bad. And unless it's like bad, it's only bad, or is it not bad?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ronnie, if you could curate the most perfect meal for yourself, appetizer, entree, and dessert, what would the meal be?
I think I can curate, since I don't live in jail, I can curate my most perfect meal anytime. But if I could only eat one thing for the rest of my life, and it had to be a 3-course meal, I think the first meal would be, it's kind of a hodgepodge, so there's no continuity to it, but the first thing would be an appetizer, obviously. It's kind of probably going to be the strangest one, but I would definitely do like a Kraft macaroni and cheese, like the blue box, just the original recipe, and then pair that with, drum roll, Tostitos lime tortilla chips, because I think that the macaroni and cheese would sort of act as like a cheese dipping sauce dip thing, and then I don't know, the combination of cheese and mac and cheese and tortilla chips is just delicious. It's not something that I'm creating in my mind. It's something that I actually do. It's just
lime flavor.
The lime flavor is the best.
It's so satisfying.
Oh my God, it's so satisfying. And I can't be the only one that thinks that, because it's always like the one type of Tostitos that is always sold out. So I'm like, the masses think so, then I'm on to something. And then the main course would either be, it's a toss up between like this thing called Zhangjin Bao, which is like bao with meat, and then it's steam fried so that it's light and fluffy, but it's also got a crispy bottom to it. So it's kind of like a combination of like fluffy, bready, crispy. So that's why if it was like my perfect meal, let's say like the last thing I could ever eat, it has like all the textures and all the flavors that I could want.
But the inside is like a soup dumpling.
Yeah, so the inside like a soup dumpling.
Yes. They're delicious.
Yeah, absolutely delicious. If people have never tried it, you guys should seek it out because it's delicious. That, or just like a big bowl of pasta, any kind of pasta. And then
of carbs here, I guess.
Carbs. Anyone who tells you they don't like carbs is lying to you.
It's a lie.
Totally lying.
No, you're 100%.
Your body craves carbs. Like everyone loves it. And then for dessert, I guess for just going carb crazy, I would either do like banana bread. I guess I know it keeps coming up with like toss-ups, because they really are toss-ups. Either like banana bread or like chocolate cake. Right now, my obsession is chocolate cake from Magnolia Bakery. It's just like that. I personally think they have the best chocolate cake. I've like been dreaming about it. And the one closest to me is like 45 minutes away. So I'm always like kind of too lazy, and they don't deliver. So I'm just like,
They do deliver.
They do?
That's your home. Yeah.
Aren't they on Goldbelly?
But do they deliver like instantly, or do you have to wait like for in the mail? You know what I mean?
Oh, do you use like Postmates?
Like Postmates or DoorDash or something? Do they deliver through that?
Yeah.
They do?
Damn.
Yeah. Here, let me look at my phone right now.
It might be too fast for me though. I'm gonna get a doorbell ring and to be like, chocolate cake.
Yeah, Magnolia Bakery is right on there.
When I look up, it's like really I see it as like mail delivery, where you can get like an entire cake in the mail next week, but I like want it now. I'm very impatient.
Outside the delivery zone. I'm outside of the delivery zone for the Meat Fresh that's close to me.
The Meat Fresh?
I tried.
Have you ever had Meat Fresh, Ronnie?
No, what is Meat Fresh? That sounds
God,
scandalous and delicious.
So it's like Taiwanese dessert, where you can get like a bowl full of like shaved ice with black grass jelly, with karo and mochi balls with boba.
Shut up.
Or sweet potato or taro.
Oh wait, Meat Fresh as in like not like meat as in like beef or chicken, but like meat as in like meat.
Yeah, get together meat.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I feel like I've seen those before. Yes, but Taiwanese desserts are the best.
So good.
So good. Like
Taiwanese desserts, Taiwanese food, Taiwanese men.
I want everything.
It's everything.
So yummy.
So good.
That is true. That sounds delicious. Now, there's no meat? There's nothing like that in LA, is there? There's a Meat Fresh in LA?
Yeah.
If there's one in Detroit, there has to be one in LA.
But it's like not in like the LA area. It's like the closest one is, let me look it up.
You're like, it's in North
still California. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, there's several Meat Fresh. There's one in LA. There's one in Temple City, Hacienda High, Cerritos.
Do they deliver?
Oh, yes, they do.
They're on Fun.
So,
what's Fun?
Fun. How do you say it in English? It's Fantong.
Like rice.
Fantwan. Yeah. But isn't that what Fantwan is?
It's a delivery app for like Asian business.
Yeah, it's a delivery app for like
But it's a play on rice bucket.
I thought so. Their logo was like a little rice ball, so I was like, But I think I thought Fontuan was like supposed to be like the Mandarin version of Fantong. But rice bucket. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Rice bucket, no. Meat Fresh is in the near the Sawtell area.
Oh, like in Japantown.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's...
Is that the same as Little Tokyo?
No. Little Tokyo is like in downtown area. Sawtell is like, quote unquote, like the real Japanese area.
That's the one with Nagia, right? Nagia, and there's like there's that one ramen place by there as well. There's a lot of ramen places by there, but Sawtell and Olympic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've taken you there once, but you like left to go somewhere.
Wow, that was really nice of you. Wow. You're like, I'm gonna
calling it there out.
No, you, John, you.
Huh?
I've taken you to that Japanese area, but then you like left to like go have lunch in Beverly Hills or something.
Wait, you mean like my meeting with the people at Discovery?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was at you insisted that I go meet with the Food Network people.
But it still doesn't change the fact that it doesn't change the force of the history.
Well,
you left.
Next time we'll go again. You told me to go.
You left me all alone.
Oh gosh.
in your hometown, in the city where you live.
Oh my god.
There's a lot to unpack here.
There is a lot to unpack here, apparently. Good thing we have a podcast and we're sharing it with a therapist.
No, I mean, I got to think about this now. I'm not a very good one. I'm not being one anymore.
What have you observed, Ronnie, from the...
I'm getting back to you. I feel like you're dealing with a lot of trauma. Right. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's why I'm not a therapist. And that was like why it was one of the reasons is just like I feel like my therapy sessions would basically end up like what we're talking about, like food and like, what can you order on Postmates? Grubhub. I think I'm just like too blunt, and I will say on a serious note, therapists are amazing. My sister-in-law is actually a therapist, like a really good one. She actually just like unpacked a bunch of my stuff over Christmas, not because I asked her to, but just because she wanted to. But I'm pretty much an open book. But I was telling her about how when I get to the gym, I sort of have a lot of anxiety because there's just like there's like too many people around, and I like feel super insecure when I'm working out. I'm just like, everyone's better shape than me, and I feel like have all this anxiety. She like unpacked it for me, so I'll send her your way.
I feel like those feelings, I'm not like downplaying your feelings at all, but I feel like a lot of that's just like being gay at the gym.
Yeah, there's definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
We're
very damaged.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers
yeah.
of being gay and Asian, and then, there's just so many layers.
So many. And now we're just three people who eat our feelings on a podcast.
I mean, there are worse ways to deal with it, There are worse ways. I think food is a great way to deal with life.
Great way to deal with depression.
I think you're
trauma.
Yeah.
On the subject of Postmates, if you're around the LA area, take a look at the Postmate ads around town because I'm in the current campaign.
Oh, you're looking so
cute. With the sushi? Oh, that is so cute.
You're like the size of a sushi.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if there was a sushi that big, though? Wow. Human size. We've actually had sushi.
John and I have actually had giant sushi like that.
When?
Yes.
They're like known for like their jumbo like nigiri.
And where?
The salmon nigiri.
It's literally each nigiri is the size of your fist.
It's huge.
Wait, where?
It's so good. In Taiwan. And they only do salmon, and like we gorged on so much salmon. And it was like almost like practically all you can eat for like the price that it was.
It was like so much to the point where like we gave the table next to us like all of our leftovers because we couldn't finish it.
Wait, order too much.
Wait, so like, okay, so is it like a ton? Is it like a plate of? Is it like, I'm trying to picture it. It's just like
it was like plates of salmon sashimi that were like cut like almost as if they were sliced steaks. It was huge, enormous balls of like nigiri with like salmon on top. It was just like everything was just massive. And we were used to ordering like regular Japanese. We ordered like we would at a regular Japanese restaurant, all these different dishes, and it was just salmon on salmon on salmon. But like everything, the portions were so big. We were like, oh my God. We ordered probably like 6 or 7 things. We could only go through like 3. We should all go to Taiwan.
Like ikura, like
it's so good.
and that sounds like it's so good. I'm so hungry now, you guys.
I know, me too.
That sounds delicious. I like giant sized portions of things for some reason. I don't know why. I just
can't put my finger on it.
I like things that are giant size or like really mini, like, you know.
That's literally what I mean. I love mini things. Like really tiny things are really big things. That is literally my deal. Oh my God. I love that you said that because that's legit what I say all the time. Like I love super tiny things and I love really big things. So
don't get me into that normal average bullshit.
Yeah.
Just like
average is boring. Yeah. Either be minuscule or humongous.
Everything feels like croissants that are going viral. Like this bakery selling 4 tiny mini croissants for like $2.50.
Oh my God. Okay, I will say the mini baking, I will say as much as I love little things, and one of my nieces loves like mini baking. There's like she watches a few different things where it's like people making tiny things. I do find it slightly odd when people make like the mini baking, because first my question is like, how do you curate all those tiny mini equipment and like, and then like, what is the point of spending all that time making a tiny little pin-sized, croissant? It's cute, but like, okay.
See, I would want to eat it like cereal. I want to eat those tiny things like in a bowl with a spoon.
That's true, with butter.
Oh.
Just Kim, where did you say earlier that you don't put milk in your Kraft mac and cheese and you put butter?
Oh yeah,
more butter.
Wait, what?
I just add like 1/4 cup of like milk, but instead of that, I just add a little more butter, and it's just as creamy and just as rich and good.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's more creamy. I've never tried that either, but
try it.
Okay, I'm gonna try it, and then if
Milk
not, I love milk.
I use half and half in my mac and cheese.
That's a good one.
No, but it's Kraft mac and cheese. No one uses half.
Oh, Kraft mac and cheese. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. No, this is my baked mac and cheese.
Yeah. Like your legit one. This is the Kraft mac and cheese. The original.
I put butter in mine
instead of milk.
Oh, more butter. Okay.
So does that mean like you put 2 sticks of butter in, or like a whole?
No, not that much. Maybe just like
she ain't tried it out.
Just like a tablespoon more, maybe butter.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try it because like Kraft mac and cheese, you have to eat it right away, or else it starts to get like weird and kind of dry. Yeah, and dried. So
I'll still eat it.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no to mac and cheese. Yeah. Any kind of bots, I'll put it in my mouth.
But anyways, I'm getting really hungry. So I think this is like a good place to end it. Yeah.
Thank you, Ronnie, so much for joining us.
Yes. Again, tell us about when your book is coming out and what to look out for, where they can get it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. So my book, Did You Eat Yet, comes out March 14th. This year, 2023, and you can pretty much buy it anywhere books are sold. And definitely keep an eye out, sort of like, social media or anything for like updates and, whether I do a book tour or whatnot, where you can catch me on TV or I don't know, wherever I'll be.
And where can people follow you?
People can follow me on Instagram at Ronnie Woo, and then on Twitter at Ronnie Woo, Facebook at The Delicious Cook. I'm trying to think what else. Those are the main ones. I can't keep track of all the different social media platforms, so those are the main ones.
I did not know you were on Twitter. I am following you now. I did not know you were on Twitter.
Are you on Twitter? Oh my gosh, I was learning all these things.
I am on Twitter.
I'm so very bad. Social media is confusing me. That's why you guys are so brilliant. You guys are like the kings of social media. I literally have no idea how social media works.
Oh no, well, Kim is the actual. Oh, there you are. Look at those abs. There's your book. It's so.
Oh my god,
Your cover is so cute.
Honestly, like with apps like that, who needs social media?
Just business
Yeah, and like our lives.
and our lives. That's true. I would actually probably be okay without social media because it can be very time consuming.
It can be.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But it's worth it
Okay.
to be able to connect and interact with our fans.
But thank you so much for joining us on our podcast. This was delightful.
Thank you for having me. I love you guys both so much.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.